Yeah, thanks. In terms of topics, I thought today I'd talk about Ghana. As the president and CEO of Newcore Gold, we've got an advanced stage exploration project in Ghana, and which is in Africa. A number of people will often look at Africa and be unfamiliar with it, or kind of label it as one country, one continent. And what I'm going to talk today about is ultimately why we view Ghana as a tier 1 jurisdiction. Ghana is Africa's largest gold producer. It's the 7th largest gold producer globally. Security-wise, it's a very safe country. You know, they're also politically, we just had an election in December of 2020, free and fair election, no issues of violence in and around that election. So great from that perspective as well. Currently, we're getting our assays back in about 2 or 3 weeks, which is real advantage for us at the moment. A number of other jurisdictions around the world are looking at 10, 12, 14-week assay times as we've seen a significant increase in drilling over the last year or two. So again, I mean, having all that mining services in country again speaks to the quality of Ghana as a place to operate, and we're very fortunate to be there.
Analyzing the market during these days, you can see gold spiking like a couple of weeks ago, then dropping, same thing with silver. So what's happening really is that this is a new opportunity for a new breed of miners, let's say of mining companies. We in Cuyo, for instance, believe that these new challenges lead us to acquiring more investors and a different kind of investors as well. People that are not just focused on exploration, but on operations. So our main objective is to increase the value in the shorter time as possible. How do we do that? We have to change our paradigm from just exploring, okay, and exploring and burning money in exploration towards going to production as fast as possible and as, let's say, as optimal as we can do, okay? I don't need to go and try to build a huge operation, okay, when what I can do is use the local knowledge to build a small operation, fully permitted, properly engineering, everything like world-class operation, if you want to say, but smaller. So what I'm doing is I'm bringing cash flow sooner, okay, and I will be able to finance myself whatever else I want to do. I want to increase my resources, I want to increase my reserve, and I want to start drilling, acquiring more property, staking more property. So what I'm really doing is I'm increasing the value of my investors' money. And that's the real mantra, let's say, that we need to have.
Inflation, which existed since the Roman Empire and before that, and also in China, it is the debauching of the currency. It's decreasing the amount of gold, silver, copper into the coin with a cheaper metal or a cheaper thing, anything you want. Most of the time was with copper to increase the quantity of the currency. And that is the real definition of inflation. You can see in this chart is an index of all commodities, not just gold. In that CRB index, it's also included gold and silver. And what you can see there is that since 1970s, the price of commodities has increased to infinity. It appears it never stops going up. When in reality, in real terms, in gold terms or silver terms, the price of commodities went down, which doesn't make sense. So this is what I call the illusion of inflation. It creates an illusion of wealth when in reality there is no wealth creation.
Main strategic benefits or competitive advantages over our peer group, and that is the local infrastructure. So we're located about 2 miles away from a paved highway. We're about 2 or 3 miles away from a power generation facility with power lines running right through. There's a 2.5-hour drive to the Oakland port and about a 4-hour drive to Reno, you know, the service providers, whether it's SA Labs or rigs or engineering staff. So in terms of infrastructure spend, you know, we don't have to build roads, build railways or ports. You know, these things are all in place. The only thing we're going to be concentrating on is the mine cost itself. The Significance there is that there was an exploration program. They did 5 shallow holes and identified 1 million ounces, 1 million tons of resource. And what's significant there is that, 5 shallow holes and to get 1 million ounces or 1 million tons at 5% zinc and a high grade silver is that it has a lot of running room. And this is on the same geological belt. It's just on the other side of the belt as Glencore's Hackett River deposit. And anyone that knows Hackett River, it's probably one of the largest undeveloped zinc and silver projects in North America. It's very significant. It's got over 300 million ounces of silver on the inferred category.
Well, I said before the election that it doesn't matter if it's Trump or Biden. They are printing, they're increasing the debt. Donald Trump called himself the king of debt, and he showed no constraint in increasing the debt. And he also strongly believed in devaluing the currency. During the Trump years, it devalued about 16% already. It's going to continue. The dollar will be devalued, and gold is the Achilles heel of the US dollar. So that is bullish. And I said before the election that you might have a bounce for the dollar if Trump is elected, and a much faster move down for the US dollar and up for gold, silver, if it's Biden. It hasn't been that much because there is government intervention, central bank intervention. You always have to keep that in mind in currencies, and when you speak also about gold, because it's the etalon of currencies.
At the end of the year, we will start seeing a fast increase. We saw that a couple of weeks ago. And the intervention of the government was very clear. When silver dropped, we were spiking. Even the ETFs based on silver were all booming and spiking, and then a sudden drop in almost everything. It's trying to revert itself. It's got to stabilize, but I foresee silver reaching 40 within this by the end of this year. Let's remember that gold already passed its historical maximum, while silver is only, let's say, 50% of its historical maximum. I think silver is more resilient. We can say that, and the trend is steady. We have seen less noise in silver as well. The increasing will be slower or all this time. I believe it's time to buy right now, actually, and it will start increasing a little by little during this year, I think, because Biden needs to stabilize the economy and correct the debt effect.
I'm biased, but I'd say Nucor Gold's the best stock to invest in 2021. I mean, I touched on a few of the points, but ultimately we've got an extremely well aligned management team with our 32% ownership in the business, a proven track record of shareholder successes, and the largest ever drill program happening on the project. So we're drilling 58,000 meters at the program at the moment, and that's more than the 50,000 meters that's been historically drilled over the past 10 years. So we're extremely excited from that perspective. And as I highlighted, Ghana is a great place to be investing in, and that's why we've got so many major companies there. So yeah, that'd be my top pick for the year, and I'm long alongside the rest of our shareholders.
Our project has both gold and silver, so from our standpoint, we're happy with both of them going up in value, obviously. But I do agree, mainstream investor base, when inflation hits, they'll be looking at gold. There's just so many more options available for investors to invest in gold versus silver. So I do agree that gold will lead the way, and silver is secondary.